Alright, I had to say, honestly, this new villain female character, who I don't know her name yet, I don't think it was even mentioned in the episode, I'm sure My Anime List or some other site has it listed already, but this villainous girl of a character has to be my favorite character in the show so far. She is just awesome. When you have an anime that makes you want to root for the villain, you know you're doing something right. There was a part in the episode that made me laugh, like legitimately laugh out loud, so just shocked at the absurdity and just how insane it was. After she kills the bookstore owner and she's walking out with her book and she says, "Oh, I need a bag." And she walks back in and gets a bag with blood covered everywhere, and it's just the most casual thing for her. Pause the episode, no joke, about 10 seconds of me laughing, legitimately chuckling out loud. I was just like, this anime is so insane, and I love it. This anime is so meta, it's literally just the definition of meta. I love this character, not just because she's sick and twisted, but just she feels so different from all the other characters, even the military uniform character who is just, you know, supposedly the villain of the series. She just seems like you just threw in the most sick and twisted character into a side where she doesn't care which side she's on. She's gonna play around with humanity, she's gonna play around with the gods, and she just wants to have fun, and we know that results in sick and twisted killing. Her ability as well is very fascinating. It seems like she can turn a lie into another lie, which then results into the truth. So essentially, she tells a lie, gets the person she's telling the lie to then lie about something in return, and then it flips the original lie into becoming the truth. Something like that. I didn't properly explain it, but that's the gist of it. She like writes in, she's saying, "This is my book." The bookstore owner says, "No, it's not." Well, look at this page, and you know, I don't have a pen, so there's no way I could have wrote that in. You're lying. A lie of a lie becomes the truth, pretty much. And then ultimately her ability seems to kick in, and she just obliterates. She might be one of the most dangerous characters in the show, and the fact that she won't have a side, she'll probably just kind of play around with each side, helping whoever she thinks she's gonna have the most fun with. She's going to be a sick character, but ultimately her character design, her ability, and just her savage personality has her being my most interested character, and she's damn funny. But what I really appreciate is the fact that when we focus on Alice, the knight character who is fighting on the antagonist side, but she believes that the world of the gods that they are in, the gods, the humans, us, are actually very powerful beings, and that's an easy way to manipulate, because she can't comprehend the fact that we would write in a story that has just so much conflict, because she comes from a world where bodies are piling up like mountains. There's blood, there's death, and there's despair. She comes from a very real and cruel place. She cannot fathom that her creator, her god, would do this for fun. This has to be some grand thing. It can't just be for a story. And that's why it's easy to manipulate those who refuse to see the truth, and that's why she's on the antagonist side. So I like how they're not just saying like each of these characters are focusing on a side for a particular reason. They all have their different backgrounds, they have their own different stories. Even the magical girl herself, she comes from a very peaceful place, and she's very easily manipulated, but she ultimately decides, you defeated this person, you don't need to hurt her anymore. That's why she switched sides and says, I won't stop, because when I go back home, I couldn't face my friends, who are all pure and loving and caring, if I let someone die when I know I could save them. All these characters, like, they really don't have a side. They focus on what matches their personality best and their beliefs. And I love how there's flip-flopping of different sides who they're fighting for. But Alice had to steal the show, even though this new character is amazing and her villainous intent. The fact that she literally says, like, I can't just accept that my creator would make a story that this is just all for fun. The carnage that I witness is real, and I love how they brought that up. It's constantly Recreators is bringing up things I don't think I want to see, but when I see it, I'm so glad they do, because this is the type of stuff you would expect would happen. You have all these different characters, some from peaceful backgrounds, some from war-driven backgrounds. They're all going to have their own different beliefs, and the main villain, or the villainous character who got brought in, she comes from a place that seems to be very similar to Japan. Even the money from her book is the same in this world, but obviously there is some magical twist to it, so she's just kind of fine being here. She's like, oh, this is just Japan, everyone can understand me, I'm gonna have a fun time. Whereas Alice, she comes from a war-driven land, she wants to just save her world, have her god save her world. You know, why is she doing this? Like, there's so many things that are going on, they all have their own ideas, but ultimately, some are falling into the villainous side without even realizing it, thinking the antagonists for them are evil when in fact they could be very good allies. I love how they're handling it, and also just the OST, like we're getting some back into some really good killer OST tracks. This shit is awesome. Also, the animation was very good with the action we did see, and we got 2 new characters this week. The first of which, obviously, is now my favorite character, but the second of which is a pistol-wielding man who just seems to be kind of insane. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be up to in terms of all of his abilities. He has some sort of floating mechanism, but also a very powerful gun with different ammo, like a gravitational bullet. There's going to be some crazy action next week, that's for sure. But I'm going to be honest, this is my favorite episode, not because of the action, because of the new character and the bookshop scene. Seriously, that's like the best scene of the week, I have to say. It's just so absurd. Casually, I forgot my bag. Oh yeah, there's just blood everywhere. That's fine. Her ability is also interesting. I'm really interested to see ultimately whose side she goes on, because you assume she's going to go on the MC side for a little bit, maybe pull some twisted shit, and then go to the military uniform girls side. She's gonna flip-flop, and ultimately, if she's gonna live the entire way through, who the hell knows? And it'd be interesting if her creator rewrites her to be a good person, ultimately. That would be a really interesting turn of events. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Who's your favorite new character so far? And what did you think of this insanely entertaining episode? Before you leave, please be sure to like the video to share your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.